NFTs are the new thing. And so NFTs are the future of the music industry. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
The problem is what does that mean and what does it look like? And even I'm working on this. I was working on it today. I'm working with a couple of companies that use NFTs, and even I'm like trying to figure out what this looks like.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when the internet came along at the beginning, and everyone just kind of went, pictures. And it's like, no, this is way bigger than pictures.
Right.
And NFTs is the same. People say, oh, NFT art. And it's like, no, this is a structure of an entire industry because you've got the blockchain, you've got every contract that might ever be, almost like an email kind of thing. Yeah, all the ledgers. And so then it becomes a really interesting question of, well, if you can build the audience, what do you want to monetize? Because the little picture, the little PFP or whatever it's called, the little picture that's attached to it, I mean, that's just a symbol. That's just like a little advert. What do you want to attach? Do you want to say, well, we're going to do tickets, or we're going to do
album,
meet and greets, albums, and what I love about this is when you start getting less into monetizable NFTs and more about incentivized NFTs. So imagine this.
What's that?
So imagine this. This is, now you're getting me started. I love
this. Let's go.
So this is where, imagine you've got your audience and you're saying, hey, the new album's coming out. Or the new videos coming out. If you watch a certain amount of content, then that will trigger a new NFT that you'll get. You don't have to buy it, but you've watched 50 of my videos, and because you've watched that, you elevate yourself to the next level, and you get an NFT, and that NFT opens up a new part of, say, a membership where you get some unseen footage or something else. And so, you can now incentivize your audience to help you build. And so there's so many ways of doing that, not just with content to say, look, you watch a certain amount of content, it will open up more content, which will open up more content. And then you're gamifying.
That's exactly what I thought in my head. Like it's a big video game.
You're gamifying. Yeah. You're gamifying your engagement. You're gamifying your audience. And in doing that, so they're helping you. But also, imagine if you said, well, like Kickstarter, for example, instead of us funding our album, we're going to use, modern day consumption. I'm going to go on TikTok. I'm going to write a little bit of a chorus, and I'm going to say, maybe I should record this song. Who thinks I should record this song? Of course, everyone goes, yeah, you need to record the song. You need to record the song. So at which point you say, well, maybe I will, but who wants to buy part of this song? And then you could sell as NFTs, 0.01% of the song. And so the person who buys that will then get a royalty from the song, from Spotify. So instead of Spotify just coming straight to you, it gets divvied up to all of these people. And so you might have, say, 1,000 people who pay $10 for that 0.1% of the song. But 1,000 people who pay $10 is $10,000, and you haven't even recorded the song yet. So you've just said what they're getting is 0. something of the song, like a label. And so all of a sudden, let's say with 1,000 people that have bought it, it adds up to, let's say, 25% of the royalties. You're still getting 75% of the royalties. You probably recorded it yourself. But the best thing about it is you've now got an army of 1,000 people that are going to go and tell the entire world that you need to listen to this song because I'm going to get royalties.
They're invested in it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like an IPO sort of thing. So like thinking of your brand even as like a stock, right? And now all of a sudden your own fans can now buy shares in a song or whatever, and they're like that much more invested in it. And I think you're saying that that's one thing that would be possible with NFTs.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about NFTs is, that was 2 or 3 ideas, but there's so many things that as soon as you scratch the surface, you sort of go, I've just thought of another great idea. And then all of a sudden you're down there, and there's people who are putting on. Gary Vee's doing his V Friends thing. And I think they made something like $30 million in 24 hours or something crazy. And I think the bit that everyone needs to realize, and again, this is where I feel like the most important stuff, the bit that I love is you can't do that without an audience. And that's the bit. So everyone who says, I'm going to do an NFT, well, who's going to buy it? Just because you can make something, it doesn't mean people are going to buy it. It's all about supply and demand. So if you've got 20 people who love you and you're selling 20 NFTs, everyone can have one. Great. Right. They probably won't. Whereas if you've got 20 people who love you and you're selling 2 NFTs, fight for it. That pushes the price up. And so at that point, then they're closer to you and they're in the club and all of those different things. So, it's an incredible beginning. The only thing that we've got to get past now is we aren't set up across the world to use NFTs the same way as we use email and the internet, but it's not going to be long because the cat is out of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking into that space as well, and I actually almost bought a VFriend thing, but I was like, nah, I'll like rather use the money to invest in making my own, or like working towards making my own, so that whenever I do have that audience, then I can leverage that.
And the best thing about it, what you just said then, is let's say you did buy one of Gary Vee's VFriends, and then they sold out. And I wanted to buy one. And I was like, I want to get one. And then you say, do you know what? I'm going to sell my VFriends. Not only because there aren't any left, so the price has just gone up, means you can then sell it for more money. But what's even better is a portion of that money will go to Gary Vee.
I know.
So he actually gets money twice.
Every single time. That's been the most attractive thing about NFTs, is that with the Mona Lisa, for example, right? I mean, the original, artist doesn't get a cut every time it's resold, which I don't think it happens, often. But with this, I mean, every single time it's sold, and the more your brand has, market value and all that stuff, it just gets that much more valuable, and always will be earning some returns for you, which is just mind blowing. So I'm excited about that.
Then it comes down to, so in which case, what is it that you can do that creates the most value? Because if someone says, oh, you just get my song, it's like, well, that's fine, but I can just go and listen to the song. I'll be able to find the song. I'll be able to hear the song. Whereas if you said, for example, once every year, we're going to hire a venue and it holds 200 people. And we have 200 NFTs, and those 200 people are allowed to come to this venue. And then 2 years down the line, you're playing 12,000 capacity arenas, but you're still doing this one. How much is that NFT worth? Because everyone's going, a gig, can you imagine if the Foo Fighters did a gig for 200 people? Can you imagine if they said, we're going to sell tickets? It'd be like, what do you want to charge? 200 people, charge 20 grand, 20 grand a gig, because they can, if they want to, because there will be 200 people that will want to be in the club. And there are 200 people in the world with that kind of crazy money. And they wouldn't be able to do that by 100,000 people, but 200, absolutely, if they wanted to do that. So then they've got the NFT. So they don't have to then do the awkward thing, which is, we're going to put our tickets of $20,000, because everyone goes, oh, boo, the Foo Fighters, they've sold out, they're trying to charge $20,000. They say, no, do that yourself.
We've figured it out.
Yeah, we've sold 200 NFTs, and the NFTs were priced nicely when we did it, and we're still doing it 5 years later. And those NFTs keep getting sold around, and they're still getting money in. Brilliant.